This Kalonzo Musyoka manenos, they'll never come to an end. A few hours ago, Kalonzo Musyoka called a press conference. And in that press conference, he released a confidential legal document of the agreement he made with Raila Odinga when both of them were NASA principals in 2017. The long and short of that agreement was that Raila was going to be the candidate in 2017, and in 2022, Kalonzo Musyoka was going to be the presidential candidate, fully supported by Raila Odinga. What? And he even read parts of the document, excerpts, where he was referring to himself as Principal Q and Raila as Principal H. Now, that document was signed, put together and signed on 30th April 2017. Now, this is strange, especially after what we heard Kalonzo Musyoka saying at the Jubilee National Delegates Conference, where he pledged that he was in Azimio, although he emphasized that he would like President Uhuru Kenyatta to take charge. That means he becomes the leader of Azimio. He supervises the negotiations between the parties entering Azimio. But he told us that he's joining Azimio. He's definitely with Azimio. So what has changed? This is a very strange legal contract. If we were to summarize all this Kalonzo Musyoka drama in one word, that word would be annoying. Extremely annoying. Okay? Now, in the past, I've been criticized on this channel, obviously by fans and supporters of Kalonzo Musyoka, for hating him, for being against Kalonzo Musyoka and his ambitions. And so, I want to present the evidence, solid evidence, to prove that what Kalonzo Musyoka is doing is extremely annoying. Okay? Now, let's start with 2002. Moi was leaving power, and Kalonzo Musyoka was a senior member of Moi's dictatorial KANU. He was a cabinet minister. He was very close to the dictatorial government that was terrorizing Kenyans, that Kenyans wanted to get rid of. And Kalonzo in 2002 started positioning himself to take over from Moi. Now, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with scheming to take over the presidency. Indeed, that's the nature of politics. If you're a politician and you don't have ambition, then in my opinion, you have no business being in politics. However, how you do it and what you do to become president is extremely important. And so Kalonzo went out to the Rift Valley. I believe he had information very early that Moi was not going to support his vice president at that time, George Saitoti, to take over from him. And so he realized very early that this thing was open, or so he thought. And so he went into the Rift Valley. And he went all over the place, a chini ya maji campaign, talking to the Kalenjin community, Moi's community, and trying to convince them that they would be in very safe hands if the presidency was handed over to him. Now we know what happened in 2002. Moi came out and declared Uhuru Kenyatta then a very inexperienced politician, as his preferred successor. Yeah. And this triggered a major fallout within KANU. Many people, including Kalonzo, left KANU. And Kibaki became president. Yeah. And of course, Kalonzo was in the cabinet. 2007, Kalonzo registered a party called Orange Democratic Movement Kenya. Actually, he positioned himself very closely to Raila Odinga and others, and Uhuru Kenyatta as well. And they opposed Kibaki's constitution. Yeah, Kibaki doctored the Yashpal Guide document, the Bomas document, and came up with his own version of what should be the new constitution. Raila Odinga and others rejected it. And those people who were against Kibaki's doctored constitution, as went into a referendum, were using the orange symbol. And those four were bananas. And therefore that is how the Orange Democratic Movement Kenya was birthed. And of course, Kalonzo Musyoka, being a lawyer, was bang in the middle of registering this new. Yeah. But of course he schemed. He set it up such that he was the main legal decision maker over this document of Orange Democratic Movement Kenya, ODM-Kenya. And he used it to blackmail Raila Odinga, so that when they sat down to decide on who would be the flag bearer of ODM-Kenya, and it became very clear that it was going to be Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka used blackmail. Bwana Manzo, who's very close to Kalonzo Musyoka, put the ODM-Kenya certificate of registration in his pocket and walked away. Of course, the idea was for Raila Odinga to call Kalonzo, begging, negotiating, accepting that Kalonzo will be the flag bearer and Raila Odinga will be the vice president. That was the whole idea. But Raila didn't do that. Instead, he hurriedly bought another party with a similar name that had been registered earlier. Yeah. ODM, the ODM party, Orange Democratic Movement Party, different from ODM-Kenya. And that's how ODM was birthed. Yeah, Raila ran on that ticket. And so Kalonzo Musyoka was the flag bearer for ODM-Kenya. Raila was the flag bearer for ODM. And we know what happened. But what is relevant for us today is that Kalonzo rushed to Kibaki, who was in trouble, after stealing that election in broad daylight, causing so much mayhem, causing so much trouble in Kenya, the clashes. Yeah. Kalonzo rushed to Kibaki's side and was appointed vice president. And it was Kalonzo's support, yeah, that propped up Kibaki at a crucial time. 2013, I believe most of us are aware of that night meeting that took place somewhere in Karen, yeah, where Kalonzo told Ruto and Uhuru that they should forget the presidency. And he wanted to make a deal with them that as soon as they've sorted out the Hague Manenos, and after Kalonzo has served 10 years as president, Kalonzo pledged, promised to support them so that they could rise to the presidency. Now that one Ruto took personally. And you know what happened? Ruto and Uhuru ended up in the presidency. But there's something else super fascinating that happened in 2013. You see, in 2007, Kibaki and Kalonzo had made a deal. When Kalonzo supported Kibaki at a crucial time, Kibaki promised to return the favor, yeah, at an opportune time. And so when it became clear that Ruto and Uhuru were headed for the presidency, Kalonzo returned to Kibaki, yeah, to collect his debt. And Kibaki told him, "I'm sorry, Stephen, go and see Ruto and Uhuru. And of course, when Kalonzo went to see Ruto and Uhuru, Ruto told him famously, I am sorry. According to our calculations, according to the way we're going to organize these tribes to vote, you don't feature. Yeah? And therefore you cannot be in this lineup. You cannot be deputy president. And I suspect Ruto said that to Kalonzo with a lot of pleasure, considering what had happened earlier. And so Kalonzo found himself out in the cold. And he rushed to see Baba. And you know, Baba has a good heart. And so Baba said, don't worry, Stephen. I'll make you my running mate. And so in 2013, Kalonzo Musyoka was Raila Odinga's running mate. And the naked truth is that he was Raila Odinga's running mate. He was in Raila Odinga's camp because he had run out of options. That is the truth. Now I want to remind you of Kalonzo Musyoka's narrative. He tells us, because he knows Kenyans are not interested in history, I supported Raila Odinga with all my heart in 2013. I supported him again in 2017. I would have to be mad to support him a third time. That is Kalonzo's side of the story. But I'm afraid it is not based on hard facts. The truth of the matter is that in 2013, Kalonzo had nowhere else to go. And Baba, with his good heart, accommodated a desperate Kalonzo. Those are the facts. Now in 2017, it was rather obvious that the man who told Ruto and Uhuru, after you come back from The Hague, I'll assist you to get the presidency. That man, it was very obvious there was no way a deal was going to be made with Uhuru and Ruto. And in any case, the two were planning to be re-elected, so he could not fall into that equation. So once again, he had no option but to pair up with Raila. Kalonzo did not support Raila because he looked around. He had very many offers all over the place, and he chose Raila. No, that's not how it worked out. Please, let's speak the truth, and nothing but the truth. We don't hate anybody, but we hate lies. We want to stick to the truth, and nothing but the truth. 2017, now that was where all the drama was. Kalonzo pushed and pushed, claiming that because he supported Raila in 2013, it was now his turn for Raila to carry all his massive support in Kenya and put it behind Kalonzo. In other words, for Raila to hand over the presidency on a silver platter to Kalonzo Stephen Musyoka. Now make no mistake about it, Kalonzo is a schemer. And when the NASA principals were signing the agreements, organizing the legal structure of the principles of NASA, Kalonzo ensured that it would be emphasized that all the principles were equal. Raila Odinga was equal to Moses Wetangula. Raila Odinga was equal to Musalia Mudavadi. Raila Odinga was equal, very equal, to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Now the implications of that, the legal implications, was that everybody had the same share within this political coalition called NASA. So that in the end, one amongst the equals would be chosen to be the flag bearer. Now, let's look at political reality. And let's talk only the truth. Raila Odinga is not equal to Moses Wetangula politically, and is not equal to Musalia or Kalonzo Musyoka politically. That's the truth. Because in my opinion, in such arrangements, you should come to the negotiation table with your numbers. That's the fairest way of doing it. And so the person with the highest numbers should have a bigger say. But you see, Raila sometimes is a pushover. And so he accepted this deal. And I'm sure at the back of his mind, he knew that his numbers would win the day for him in the end. And so when they came to that last controversial meeting to discuss who would be the flag bearer, and this meeting followed another earlier meeting where it was tentatively agreed that Kalonzo Musyoka would be the NASA flag bearer. It was agreed, under a lot of pressure from Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And so in this last meeting, Raila asked a simple question. Mr. Kalonzo Musyoka, do you have the finances to mount a presidential campaign? Huh? The answer was no. And so that is how Raila became the NASA flag bearer. And Mudavadi and Wetangula agreed. Indeed, in his latest press conference, Kalonzo Musyoka confirmed this. He said that when he saw Wetangula being removed as a minority leader in the Senate, he laughed because he remembered how both Wetangula and Mudavadi had said, "Us, we have accepted Raila. So you and Raila sort out." That's what Kalonzo told us, confirming the information I'm giving you. And so it was under these tense circumstances that the secret deal, the secret contract, the secret legal document that Kalonzo Musyoka unleashed a few hours ago, it was under these circumstances that that legal document was put together. A ridiculous legal document, according to me. Why? Because politics is so fluid. NASA doesn't even exist anymore. But this was a legal agreement between Raila and Kalonzo. In other words, what Kalonzo was doing in this legal document was demanding that Raila hand over his birthright in 2022. That's really what it is. Because what Kalonzo wants is for Raila to take all his hard work, all his sacrifices for the country, everything that he has done for Kenya, and put it behind Kalonzo Musyoka and hand over the presidency on a silver platter to Kalonzo Musyoka. And that's why I said at the beginning, what Kalonzo is doing is annoying, extremely annoying for those people who know the facts. When Raila Odinga was on a hunger strike while in detention, very close to death, Kalonzo Musyoka was enjoying the trappings of power in the KANU dictatorial government. When Raila Odinga was fighting dictator Moi, Kalonzo was working very hard to get closer to Moi, and by extension to frustrate Raila. Yani Kalonzo alikula na KANU, akafaidi kutoka KANU, alafu sasa anataka kukula kutoka Raila. Wah! Kalonzo benefited from KANU a lot. He got all his rewards for all the work he did from KANU while frustrating Raila. But now he wants to enjoy what Raila suffered to achieve, what Raila achieved over decades. He also wants to eat that one. Huyu mtu uko serious kweli? Seriously? You know, at the press conference Kalonzo kept on mentioning the word democracy, which is funny because in democracy, it is the people who decide. Not Raila. It is the people who decide. So why doesn't he go to the people, get enough votes, and become president? Why does he need to harass Raila? For Raila's support base, for Raila's hard work, for Raila's sweat. Why? Indeed, there are those within the Wiper Party. Kalonzo confirmed this during the press conference. There are those within the Wiper Party who are not supporting Kalonzo in what he's doing. Yeah, they thought that it was not politically correct to do what he's doing. And I have a very good idea of who these people were, because there are some level-headed people who are going very far within the Wiper Party. Yeah, people like the Makueni Senator, Mutula Kilonzo Jr. But you know what happens in a political party? You may strongly disagree with something, but at the end of the day, you must stand with your party leader. You must support him. Yeah, so that tomorrow, when you take over as the party leader, they will support you, even when they don't agree with what you want to do. That's how it works. But my point here is that Kalonzo should have listened to those within Wiper who are telling him, this one, no. He should have listened to them. Yeah, and asked himself, yes, I want to be president desperately, but is this the right move? How will this impact me in future? Yeah, even if I don't make it this time, will this help me in 2027? Of course, the answer is a big no. In fact, this will completely finish Kalonzo Musyoka's hopes of ever being president of Kenya. That's my opinion. Because as a politician, if you don't make it this time to the highest office, what should you do instead? You should use the opportunity to build bridges for the future. But Kalonzo is not building bridges. He is destroying them. He's doing the opposite. Maybe we need to understand, where this unreasonable behavior, bizarre, strange behavior of Kalonzo Musyoka is coming from. And I'll tell you, there have been those who have criticized Kalonzo for being too laid back. Yeah. They have told him something like, Kalonzo, you need to be more assertive. You have been in government for such a long time. Much longer than people who came just the other day called Uhuru Kenyatta, who is now president. Now wewe bado umezubaa. Do something. Be more assertive. Be more forceful. Because the presidency will not come to you on a silver platter. That's what somebody has advised Kalonzo. Which is good advice. However, how you go about doing something is extremely important. And we come back again to my pet subject. The character of a man. If you are ready to take off with the registration certificate of a party, if you schemed so that you'd use the registration of that party as a bargaining chip, what does it say about your character? What does it say? The character of a man. The character of Kalonzo Musyoka. Now, fortunately, Kalonzo Musyoka is nowhere near being the next president of Kenya. Yeah, he's not like some dangerous people who are very close. Yeah, but still, one has to sympathize with him and to sympathize with how he has gotten things terribly wrong. Because in politics, you can make wrong moves, but in politics, you can also make fatal mistakes. Mistakes that are fatal to the future of your political career. You know, there are people who have said, with a straight face, the three governors of Ukambani have no influence. Kalonzo Musyoka is the Ukambani kingpin. Now, How do you make such a sweeping statement when everybody knows a governor is very close to the people? A governor, as opposed to an MP, is in a position to dish out favors to the electorate. A member of parliament just talks. There's very little power a member of parliament has to change the life of the constituents. But a governor, he's got funds, he's got a government, he's got a budget. A governor is very influential politically. And I believe we saw that in 2017. When the influence of Ali Hassan Joho in Mombasa blocked completely Jubilee from getting significant votes in that county, despite the fact that the Jubilee government had started campaigning in Mombasa as early as 2013. Dishing out title deeds, sorting out a lot of issues in Mombasa, gaining a lot of support in Mombasa. But at the end of the day, the influence of Governor Joho defeated the mighty government of Kenya in 2017. So a governor is a very influential person. And we know for a fact that Kivutha Kibwana, Charity Ngilu, Alfred Mutua are very, very influential governors. Because of their performance, they have delivered. There are many would-be voters who have benefited from these three governors and who will solidly vote for them any day, or even their cause any day, with a lot of passion. So, the truth is, Kalonzo Musyoka's influence and power in Ukambani, in my opinion, is very little. In a straight competition between Kalonzo and the governors, I think that is a no contest. The three governors would win hands down. And there's plenty of evidence to prove this, apart from what I've just given you. And so let's not mislead people. Let's not make statements that favor our point of view. Please let us use facts to support our point of view. That's how it should go. And so Kalonzo is in a very precarious position. According to me, chances are high that we are very close to the end of the political career of Kalonzo Musyoka. All the signs are there. When people start to be erratic, when people start to be unreasonable, when people do things that leave people in shock and amazement and asking questions, all the signs are there that the long political career, a lot of it within KANU, Mama na Baba, of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is at its tail end. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.